Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you a story of an artist. Her name is Iris, how she could make money, make her ends meet, and also support her family with her financial income. And I think it's a very inspiring story. If you are an artist struggling to make the ends meet, or you want to do something different from just painting at home or in your studio, I think her story could inspire you. And this story all started from me wandering around in the Soho area. Sanlitore Soho area is a newly built commercial complex with a lot of serviced apartment buildings, offices. Also, many international companies are based here, and the embassy area is not far. It's just in general a very trending, a very commercial area. And I was looking for something like an art gallery, art center, trying to find something interesting for today's video. And I saw this art experience center. I was like, what is that? I want to go and check it out. And I found this pottery studio, and I went asking about her business, and immediately I got a connection with the owner of this business. Her name is Iris. When we started talking, I realized that we had a lot of things in common. We were from the same background, same kind of poor social class when we were growing up, and we both studied art in Beijing, and after that we both wanted to open our own art business. So we had a lot in common, and she shared a lot of her business insights with me, which I guess this is not something that normally you would walk inside of a business and immediately get, her balance sheet and everything. But she was very open and very generous, and she shared a lot of, business intelligence with me, which I am able to share with you. So her story started from graduating from art school, and her family was not very resourceful. She had to struggle to maintain her life in Beijing, in such an expensive city. So she was hesitating what to do. She really wanted to open her own art business, but she didn't have any income, and she was very young. So she decided to work in a company for a few years just to get more experience and save more money. But when she was doing that, she realized this was not something she would like to do. It really was killing her, and she was dreaming about opening her own art studio all day, all night. And finally, after a few years, she was able to get enough money. She also borrowed some money from family and friends. She gathered around 60,000 Chinese yuan, which is equivalent of 10,000 US dollars as a startup capital. And then she rented this space. The space required 2 months deposit and 3 months upfront payment. So the startup capital, the half of this 60,000 went straight to the rentals, and the rest of the money went to the equipment, the staff, the renovation, and she had to do everything herself. She didn't have a lot of money, so she was trying to save every penny. All the furniture was like made by hand from this reclaimed wood, and all these walls were painted by herself. And she had to really put a lot of love and investment and time in making her first art center. After a while, she was able to open the second pottery studio in another location, also in a business building. And she asked her boyfriend, then like now husband, to jump in and help her. So he quit his job and jumped in. And so both of them now run these two centers together as a business. They have like a proper business registration, and everything was like totally legal, because also she works as a business inside of a commercial building. Obviously, she had to, fulfill all this kind of norms and regulations, which she did. So her business maintenance cost was high. The rentals were also very high. It's around 2,000 US dollars equivalent for 1 month's rent of this space. As you can see, it's not very big, but it's big enough. And her business idea was very unique. Because of her experience working in a company, she knew very well that every 2-3 months, the teams will gather together to do some kind of team building activities. And sometimes it's a day out to the Great Wall, like the one I did, and I made a video about it. Sometimes it is just a lunch or a dinner, something very close to the office building, so they don't have to take too much time off from their normal working hours. And I think it's an excellent idea, because the fact that she knew very well her client, she didn't just open blindly, wishing for the clients to come. She said, okay, if I do this, I target the size, the communication towards this kind of clientele, I I probably will get them. And I think her approach was very, very correct. And all this hard work paid off. Shortly, she was able to pay back all the debts. She was able to buy an apartment for her parents because her parents was living in a very old apartment without any heating. In the region where her parents were living, it was really cold in the winter. Without heating, life was really miserable. And she was able to change many lives, like not only the lives of her parents, the life of her family, like the most immediate family. She was also able to provide jobs. Like she was hiring 5 to 6 people for each store, and she was like operating it like a proper business, and she gained really valuable business insights. And when I asked her, as an artist opening your own art studio, what was the most challenging thing? And she told me the most challenging was managing staff. Like when you realize that art schools did not teach you how to manage people, they teach you how to manage colors, how to manage like all the things that alone as a solo artist, and when you have to work in the teams, you'll find it's really difficult. Actually, in the case of Iris, she worked in a team as an employee, so she got a little bit taste of how it works as a team. But when it comes to managing her own teams, it was extremely difficult. And she was telling me the stories of how a young employee broke the work of her client, and the pottery work was not done completely by the client. The client will do a part of the process, which is the mud, and then after all this baking process is done by the studio. And the employee broke it by accident, and it was such a trouble because she had to train the employees and she had to do the customer service and do the communication, and she was so exhausted, and her mother wanted to help, and now her family is now in Beijing trying to help out her business. By the way, her pottery studio is called 辞职, which literally in Chinese means boss, I quit. And she wanted to do this studio and she wanted to quit her job. And that's literally why it's called 辞职. And when I was there, I saw a young boy coming to her saying, I want to work for you. I want to quit my job. Pottery is my passion, is my love. I don't care how much you pay me, but I want to be here. And I think her business is more than just offering an opportunity for normal people to experience pottery for the first time and just to get in touch with the art of ceramic. Her business is also offering a lot of faith in people who wanted to quit their jobs to do something different, and she could demonstrate that you can. As a girl from the countryside whose family was really poor, as a girl who did not really fit in the business world, who had a dream for art, with a certain niche, you can fit, but you have to plan. You cannot just quit your job, open a business, thinking that the client will come. No, but you have to really think, who is your client? What you want to do? How much money are they willing to pay for your service? Is not by wishful thinking. And I think her approach was totally, she nailed it. I think her business model was really, really interesting. If you are interested in doing B2B, especially if you are working as a full-time employee in a company, you know how the companies will work, and perhaps you can try to penetrate the B2B world. And because that she's doing her art studio, that she had also the equipment and the time sometimes when she's waiting for her client, and she would create her own sculptures and her own stuff for her own entertainment. Also, she could sell it online if she wants, but she's now just giving it away, selling it to her old client who passes by. And it's a very interesting mini ecosystem. So I hope that I give you some insights in how to run an art studio in an alternative way, and how to perhaps quit your job and make an art business. That's all for today. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. And that's all. Thank you, and see you in the next video.